Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande Roth. We're looking at an okay day, a little chilly, low 50s, mix of sun and clouds. We get some rain coming in on the overnight. When you wake up tomorrow, should be mostly gone, if not going away. And the rest of Saturday into Sunday look pretty good, about 60 or so.
Nice. Now you're leaving on a vacation. Do you know what the weather in Nashville is going to be like while you're there?
Yeah, so the first couple days, high 60s. The third day is like 76.
Ooh, I like it.
And then the last couple days, about 70 or so. Yeah.
Maybe I should put myself in the trunk of your car and go, hello.
Let's go.
With you.
You see, but it makes it a little difficult. You got to pack a mix of stuff for this weather.
Well, you pack a hoodie or two.
Yeah.
You're covered that way. You know, a pair of shorts, maybe two pairs of pants. You know, you'll be all right.
All right. Maybe it's not that big a deal. You're right.
I know you're going to bring 24 pairs of underwear because that's the way you roll, and that's
You
fine.
have to. Yeah, come on. You need at least 2 per day, no doubt. You have to. You can't go on vacation. I don't care where you go. You have to have 2 pair of underwear per day. Even if you don't use both, they have to be available to you. Especially, like, here's a great example. You go on a cruise. During the day, you're running around. Let's say you don't have your bathing suit on, right? So you're running around with your shorts and whatever, and it's hot, and you're doing things. And then at night, you take a shower, you go to dinner. You need 2 pair of underwear for that particular day.
I understand where you're coming from. You know, it's funny because I went on the cruise with Brian, and I'm not a big cruiser like you are, and I packed a lot of stuff, right? I didn't wear, I would say, 3/4 of what I packed. I was in a bathing suit and a cover-up every day practically. And we had a couple of nice dinners where we wore something nice. But basically, half the clothes I brought, even more, I didn't even wear. So
100%. Yeah.
always overpack. I try to do it less as I travel now, getting older and realizing, wow, I got to stop doing that. But I think everybody has a tendency to overpack.
Oh, all the time. And by the way, we're not going on a cruise, but since we brought it up as an example, when I go on a cruise, not only do I have my suitcase, but I will have hanging stuff. I'll bring all my shirts, like the shirts I want to wear to dinner or my suit for dress-up night. I have my hanging bag.
Man.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. But
there's a lot going on.
We'll be fine. We're hitting the road. And we're gonna have a good time, so I'm excited about it. We have some things planned in Nashville.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
We'll have a good time. One thing I will not be doing is trying to see how many bars I can hit in a 24-hour period.
Oh, gee, I was so hoping that would be what you were doing there.
A 69-year-old guy in Australia just broke the world record. He went to 120 different bars in 24 hours.
Okay, but there has to be some questions asked. I mean, you could walk in and out of a bar. Big deal. Did he sit at the bar? Was it required that he had a cocktail? What's the story there?
Yeah, so he had to order a drink at each one and consume at least 4 ounces, but they didn't all have to be alcoholic. He could order...
Because he wouldn't have been able to get into the next bar if he couldn't walk.
Right. 69-year-old guy, David Clarkson. The previous record, by the way, was 99 bars in a day. He did 120. He started at a hotel bar in Sydney, spent the next 24 hours walking around to 119 more. He had to consume at least 125 milliliters, or 4 ounces, or about a third of a beer, at each one, but it didn't all have to be alcoholic. He had, I'm sure, water and soda and things like that. And Guinness verified it. And by the way, at the final bar, he did finish with a full pint of beer. And
simply fascinating.
Yeah.
And what does he get for that?
It's our recognition, I suppose. I don't know.
All right. Well, that's good.
A little plaque on the wall. Then there's the coffee chain Tim Hortons, which I know you said earlier you had never heard of.
Never.
All right, this is a big place in Canada. And I think they might have brought some to the United States, but it got its start in Canada and it was a big deal. So anyway, they had a contest where customers could enter to win a $40,000 fishing boat.
Nice.
All right, so a guy in Canada, Darren Stewart Jones is his name, got an email from Tim Hortons Wednesday telling him he won a $40,000 fishing boat was the grand prize. He was very excited.
Yeah.
Then an hour later, a buddy of his called him and said, "You'll never believe this. I won a boat." And he said...
They're corralling criminals, aren't they?
He said, "What's going on? I won a boat too." Tim Hortons apparently either one of two things, either made a mistake or they did this on purpose for publicity. They sent thousands of emails telling people they won a boat.
Wow. I mean, how is that legal?
It's not. Well, then they sent a follow-up email telling people to disregard the boat email. And by the way, there is a stipulation, as there is in every contest, that Tim Hortons could suspend the contest for any reason.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You know, police sometimes will do that, not to the degree of a $40,000 boat, but luring people who have extended warrants out for their arrest for extended period of time, and they go thinking, oh, we're getting something good, and they get arrested.
I saw, yes, as a side note, I did see an old one that was done years ago offering people in Washington, D.C. Redskins tickets when the football team was called the Redskins back in the day. Mm-hmm. And they said, come down, you'll get tickets to the game. And they had all these criminals that they emailed or called or whatever.
Right.
And they came down and it was a big arrest thing. To get them.
Just be careful when someone's offering you something.
That's not what this was. But now there is a Facebook group called Tim Hortons You Won a Boat group. And thousands of people have joined it, and they're starting a class action lawsuit to get their $40,000
I can't
boat.
say that I actually blame them because I think it's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, listen, they may not have done this on purpose. This might have been some intern running their social media email department and just sent out, hit the wrong button. You don't know.
All right.
How do you know?
We're going to see. I'd like to please keep me up to date on what's happening in that case.
Yes. Now, to support your theory, just so you know, I'm not completely telling you you're wrong. In March of last year, right around the same time, they told a bunch of people that they won $10,000 cash, and each customer ended up getting a $50 gift card instead.
This same company?
The same company.
What is wrong with them?
So maybe it's a publicity stunt. You might be right. But yeah, so that's the deal. And they're a very famous coffee chain and I think they do donuts as well.
Okay.
In Canada. Yeah. Cande, still plenty to do. We have your National Days, good news stories, and other things coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. We do have your next Bald and the Beautiful Entertainment up at about 8:12. We have to say farewell to each other for a week, so we'll leave time for that.
Bye-bye.
We'll leave about a second for that.
Happy day. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And we've got about 50, low 50s, mix of sun and clouds today. Little rain overnight. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, look pretty good, about 60 or so. Let's hit the roads. My Country, 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.